Welcome folks to another Fallout 76 video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about mutations, how to get them, their effects, and which ones are best suited for your build. But before we head on over and check them out, and if you're new to the channel, consider clicking that subscribe button, as roughly 90% of you watching are currently unsubscribed, and it would mean a lot if you could press that button. And if you like today's video, make sure to give it a like so that more people in the Fallout community can see this. So without any further ado, let's get into it. If you're a new player to Fallout 76, or even a player who's never used mutations during your time playing the game, you're probably here because you've asked yourself the question, do I have to get mutations? How do they work, and how do I get them? To answer the first question, no, you don't have to get mutations, but they are highly beneficial for you and can make your experience even more rewarding if they're utilized properly. Now don't worry, we'll be discussing where and how to get them very shortly, but to give you a quick overview on how they work, mutations are simply effects that provide you with both positive and negative effects to your character that work in the following way. Starting off with the first mutation, we have Adrenal Reaction, which will increase your weapon damage while at low health, but your max HP will be decreased by -50, perfect for low health Bloodied builds. Bird Bones, which will decrease your strength by -4 and increase your agility by +4, and your character will start to fall slower. Carnivore, which will lock your character into eating only meat-based recipes, which will grant twice the benefits, but your character won't receive any benefits from eating veggies. Chameleon, which will turn your character invisible while not in combat and unarmed and stationary. Eagle Eyes, which will increase your critical damage by +25%, your perception by +4, however your strength will be reduced by -4. Egghead, which will increase your intelligence by +6, but the downside will be that your strength and endurance will be reduced by -3. Electrically Charged, which will give your character a chance to shock melee attackers. Empath, which will increase the damage your character takes by +33%, however it will reduce the damage your teammates take by -25%. This one can be utilized more if you like playing the medic playstyle, or if you prefer playing at high health and can tank a little bit more damage than low health players. Grounded, which will increase your energy resistance by +100, but your energy gun damage will be reduced by -20%. Healing Factor, which will make your health regenerate by +300%, but your chem effects will be reduced by 55%. Herbivore, similar to Carnivore, but instead of locking your character into eating meat, your character will be locked into eating only veggies while receiving twice the benefits. Herd Mentality, which will decrease all of your special stats by -2 while you're playing solo, but you will increase your special stats by +2 while you're grouped. Now don't worry, you can still play solo while using this mutation. What this means by playing solo basically means while you're not on a team, so to gain the benefits from this you can create a public team and still go about your adventures playing solo. Marsupial, which will increase your carry weight by +20, it will also increase your jump height, which is why you've probably seen a ton of players hopping around like Robin Williams and Flubber, but it will decrease your intelligence by -4. This, in my own opinion, is a great quality of life mutation for any player consider getting into using mutations, as being able to jump and reach those hard to reach places is extremely beneficial in every day-to-day scenario in the wasteland. Plague Walker, which will generate a poison aura around your character, scaling with each of your diseases. Now, in my own opinion, this isn't really a mutation you want to rush to invest in, because the damage it deals to enemies isn't that much, very minimal in a lot of cases, and the biggest downside is the fact that diseases are intended to negatively impact your character. But again, if you want to try it for yourself and it works for you, then brilliant. Scaly Skin, which will increase your damage and energy resistance by +50, but will reduce your AP by -50. Speed Demon, which will increase your reload speed and also increase your movement speed by +20%, but the downside is that your hunger and thirst meters will deplete faster by 50%. Now honestly, you don't need to worry about the negatives of this mutation, because when these mutations were implemented with the launch of the game, your hunger and thirst meter, if depleted, would have a negative effect on your character. However, that mechanic has been removed, so even if your hunger and thirst meter is completely depleted, you won't have any negative effects applied to your character, so this is basically a win-win. Talons, which will increase your unarmed damage by +25% and increase your bleed damage, but your agility will be reduced by -4, perfect for melee builds. Twisted Muscles, which will decrease your gun accuracy by -50%, but will increase your melee damage by +25%, and you also have a chance to cripple your enemies. Again, perfect for melee builds. And finally, we have Unstable Isotope, which will give your player a chance to irradiate melee attackers when struck. So overall, quite a lot of mutations available for you to consider using, but as you can see, certain mutations are aimed towards certain character builds, such as low health builds, medic builds, melee builds, and so forth. But some are beneficial for everyone to use regardless of your build. Now, some people are probably wondering, well, can I have every mutation applied to my character at once? Well, the answer is yes. with the exception of carnivore and herbivore, as you can only take one of these, as these will lock your character into either eating meat or veggie based products. But to answer this question, yes, you're able to take every mutation, but after looking at the negative effects, you should be asking yourself, why should I be taking all of them? I mean, yes, it can be done, but depending on your playstyle, the general opinion is no, you shouldn't. For example, if you're a commando build, you like using fixers, handmaids and other rifles. Well, if you have every mutation, then the likes of the Talons mutation will reduce your agility by -4, and the Twisted Muscles mutation will decrease your gun accuracy, and the same goes for melee builds. If you have every mutation, then the likes of Eagle Eyes and Bird Bones will decrease your strength by -4, totaling -8. And for melee builds, strength is necessary, because the higher your strength, the more damage you'll be dealing with melee weapons. So overall, there are many pros and cons depending on which build you're running, so definitely take some time to consider which mutation you want to use. Now that we've covered what mutations are and what each mutation does for your character, let's talk about how to acquire them. So there are a few different ways to acquire mutations in Fallout 76. For lower level players who haven't progressed the main story far enough to gain access to the Enclave bunker located under the White Springs, the first way is probably the most tedious and painstaking way to acquire them, is by giving your character as much radiation as possible until you acquire a mutation. Once you've acquired a large dose of radiation, you'll acquire a completely random mutation from the mutations we discussed earlier. So this method unfortunately isn't the best way to get the desired mutation you're looking for, because you might acquire a mutation that could negatively impact your build. The second way, in my own opinion, is probably the best way to get the mutation you're looking for, which is to progress the story far enough so that you've gained access to the White Springs bunker. Once you've gained access and have made your way to the Science Wing, you can purchase the mutations from the Aid category of Modus's inventory that have already been crafted at a much cheaper cost, compared to the plans for the serums, which are extremely pricey, but these can differ depending on which server you're on. If the serums that you're looking for aren't there, you can simply hop to another server, head back and see what's available. However, under the Notes category, you can purchase the plans for each mutation serum you'd like to craft. You can also cut down on the amount of caps you'll be paying to purchase these plans if you equip max rank of the Hard Bargain perk card, which will reduce the price of all vendors, but even with this applied, the plans are still a hefty price. Now, you can always ask a friend, and if they're generous enough, they can always check his inventory under the Aid category and see if the mutations you're looking for are available, and if they can purchase it for you. Or if they've already learned the plan for the serums, they can always craft it for you at a chemistry station. Now, onto our final topic, which is when you have the desired mutation you want, how do I keep them applied to my character? So as we've seen, there can be a lot that goes into finding the right mutation you want, the methods on acquiring them, but the unfortunate thing is that if you take a rat away, you'll end up removing the mutations you've acquired. But don't worry, there's a way around this. At this stage, if you've been researching build videos, you might have seen people using this perk card right here, Starch Genes. Well, the cool thing about Starch Genes is that when you have this at max rank and when you use a rat away, you'll never remove or cure your mutations. So this card is 100% a must if you're going to be using mutations at all in this game. And another perk card which is highly essential is max rank of Class Freak, which when at max rank, this will reduce the negative effects of your mutations by 75%. And if you acquire the Strange in Numbers perk card, this will increase the positive effects of your mutations by 25% if your teammates are also mutated, which, as you can see, reduces a lot of the cons associated with mutations. And there you have it, a complete guide to mutations in Fallout 76. Hopefully today's video helped you utilize and understand mutations a little bit better in the Wasteland, and hopefully it won't take you too long to acquire the mutations you're looking for. And if you found today's video enjoyable, consider clicking that subscribe button for more Fallout content like this, and so you never miss out on any videos that I publish. I want to say a massive thank you to all of our subscribers over here on YouTube, as it means the world to me that you enjoy my content and the work that I produce. For our Bethesda fans, if you find yourself shopping on the Bethesda store and you'd like to support the channel, you can use my creator code BTPineapple121 to receive 20% off of your purchases at checkout. And if you'd like to support the channel in a more personal way, consider checking out my merch store, which has an array of t-shirts, mugs and other pineapple related merch, which I'll leave a link to in the description of this video. And lastly, to you, the viewer, the person who stumbled upon this video, thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, Vault Dwellers, stay safe out there in the Wasteland, welcome to Vault 93, and I'll catch you all in the next video.